Hello, D23 Expo! Welcome, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. I am Jeffrey Epstein from D23, the official Disney fan club. We have any D23 members here? I would like to introduce my pals, the creators of Once Upon a Time, Eddie Kitsis and Adam Horowitz. Thank you again for coming back to D23 Expo. We're so happy to have you, obviously. I feel like back in 2011, when we had maybe 600, 800 people, we've grown a little bit in size here. So thank you guys all for being fans and being here.
Thank you. We can't tell you how honored we are to still be honored to be back here, and that's because of you. So thank you once again.
This is amazing. Thank you all. And it felt like it was time to close the chapter and start a new one.
Yeah, I think for us, we felt like it was time for certain characters to get their happy ending. And, creatively, we wanted to keep moving forward into something new because part of the fun of the show is always new spins on these tales.
Now, we know that Emma is back for one episode. Do we think there's a chance that we're going to see any of our other Storybrooke friends back ever for one episode or two?
I would be disappointed if we didn't.
Yeah.
Good.
That means yes.
So, what's happening to everyone's happy endings? Are they now unhappy endings?
Well, I think, as I was saying, those 6 years were all about kind of building these stories to a conclusion we were trying to get to. But I think, as we said in this season, they weren't so much happy endings as happy beginnings. And I think we really, want to make sure we honor what happened over those 6 years and what those characters went through and where they ended up.
Yeah, we're not interested in erasing those 6 years or making people feel like they wasted 6 years rooting for them. So I would say, keep watching.
I think as much as there's new stuff and some new characters, what came before still matters and is still a huge part of what the show is. We're just it's a new chapter going in a new direction, but it's not a complete reset or a complete reboot. It's a new chapter.
I think one of the things that Disney fans in particular love about the show is the inspiration you take from Disney. Not obviously just the characters, but even in the names, pieces of the set. I think all of us were always looking for something new in Gold's Pawn Shop. And now you've already made a terrific homage to Disney's very roots with Hyperion Heights. Can you talk, for those of you how many Disney geeks are here? Hyperion Heights? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, it is obviously an homage to the history of Disney. In fact, the building we make the show in, the Shorts building on the Disney lot, was originally, I think, on the Hyperion lot. And I think it was the only one that was moved there. So we're always really conscious of that, and we love to find ways to kind of put that in. And I'm sure there'll be our share of hidden Mickeys this year and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was. I think that for us, you're going to see it's a neighborhood, and we just thought that was a great title for it.
And for those who, Adam touched on it, but Hyperion Avenue is where Walt Disney had his first truly big studio before they moved over to the world where Walt Disney Studios now are in Burbank.
Yeah, and
today there's a lovely Gelson's.
There is a Gelson's there, but one building actually was moved from there, and that's the building we make the show in, and I think it's where a lot of the animators from Snow White were originally. So it's kind of a cool history there.
So we're now in Seattle. Will we ever visit Storybrooke again, or is that chapter closed?
I think that we may see it a few times throughout the year, absolutely.
Yes.
We got an actual answer. For those of you who have not been at these panels before, it's pulling teeth, people. So Henry's moved across the entire country.
Yeah.
Why?
I would say that we know young Henry, but Henry, when we find him, is older, and he's a man, and he's moved on, and he left home to find his own adventure, and that's kind of what the new chapter is about. It's we're going to pick up with Jared, and we're going to Henry, and we're going to follow him as he leaves home.
So we are seeing Jared.
Yes.
That was actually my next question, because I don't know if you guys know, I think I may have mentioned it, but I did send out a tweet asking for people's questions. And so a lot of these questions that I'm asking, these guys actually came from all of you. So thank you all for tweeting me your questions. The ones that were actually sayable out loud, I'm saying. There were some of you people, your minds. It's like you're excited about this Colin guy.
We're gonna get to him, don't worry.
So we're going to see Jared. Does that mean the device, flashbacks have always been a really smart part of the show, and how you're able to, and certainly in referencing and foreshadowing. Are they going to continue to be?
Yeah, I think one of the things we're most excited about is as writers, we love doing origin stories. We love telling you why the evil queen was evil, why the Mad Hatter was mad, and we're going to find yourself in a new book and a new universe with lots of new characters to tell, and so we're going to continue to flash back. The show will work exactly the same. We'll be in Seattle for the modern day, and we'll flash back to Enchanted Forest.
We're still doing flashbacks. For example, right now in this panel, this is the end of the panel. We're going to go back to the beginning in a moment. Wait, what? Thank you all for coming.
Speaking of characters, since Emma and Hook have presumably been married, is there a chance that Henry may have a little half-sibling?
I don't believe we should talk about. I don't know.
Is Henry still?
Yeah, that's assuming that we're not lying and we actually rip their happy ending away in the game. No, of course not. It's a show about hope. It's a show about hope. We can't say whether or not they have a child, but we can tell you that we will answer that question in the beginning of the season.
Is Henry still the author?
Henry's the author of the first book, but I think he wants to go to a place where the happy ending isn't written. I think he wants to find his own story, like a lot of us who left home at 18.
So you've made a couple of references to other book. He's the author of that book. What can you tell us about his book, these books, any books really?
A lot of them are illustrated. What I'll say this is, what's interesting, I think, to us is that these books tell the stories, a lot of them about these classic characters, and as we saw over the first 6 seasons, we did twists and turns on them. New books could have different versions of some stories and different ways of looking at things maybe we've seen before, maybe some new characters as well.
Speaking of new characters, I'm sure we would love to hear about some of these new characters.
Wife. I guess, does anyone want to know who that might be?
Yeah!
Okay, well, let's see. How about a picture of her in her costume?
I would love that.
Let's
If we
show
could do
it.
that.
Yeah,
All
let's show
right.
it.
Let's see it.
So
Henry's
this
wife.
is. Are we seeing anything? Can we draw it?
By the way, let's see it. So I think the next slide is actually,
That's me.
you look really, oh, there you go.
So that is Danielle Ramirez, and she will be playing a different version of Cinderella. And if we remember, Henry's grandfather is Prince Charming. So we have the grandson of Prince Charming with a new Cinderella.
That is cool. And a first look for you guys.
There's adult Henry.
He's looking very Hook in that. Taking after his.
He's got a cool stepdad, so thumbs off. The only thing he's missing is the eyeliner. That's episode 3. They go to Sephora together in Seattle.
One very talented person in his own right. Thanks so much for being here, Colin.
Hello, everyone.
So Colin, 2 years ago I played a game with these guys, a few of your co-stars. The lightning round of Disney favorites. So I'm going to ask you to name your Disney favorite something, and you have to answer the first thing that comes to your mind.
Oh, no.
It should come as no surprise. Jennifer Goodwin yelled at everyone for not answering fast enough last time. She was fantastic. She was on it.
Alright.
Are you ready? And don't worry, whatever you say is fine, we won't judge you. Alright, okay. Favorite Disney movie? Favorite Disney song?
Only World.
Favorite Disney park attraction?
I've never been, so...
I'm busy working on the show that you guys watch. I live in Ireland. We never get a chance to come over.
Alright, well, we're gonna have to fix that very soon.
I know.
Everyone needs to go right now. Everyone get up.
I'll lend teacups, I guess.
Favorite Disney princess?
Cinderella, I think.
Favorite piece of Disney merchandise you own?
That I own. I've got a Captain Hook doll.
And favorite Disney character that you don't play?
That I don't play, maybe Jafar, I think. I've said a lot of Latin, I'm surprising myself, actually.
It was very Freudian. Your therapist will be meeting us backstage later. Welcome to the Expo. You got to do the ultimate fan street party today. Can you talk? Did people watch that? Can you talk a little bit about what that was like?
It was crazy. I keep forgetting. I was saying to, I can't remember what I was saying backstage, but I forget them. I forget that some people know who I am. So it's sort of weird having people say, Colin. I know they have a big sign with my name on it, but I think that was sort of wild. And it's great to see. There's such a great atmosphere. You know what I mean? In the place, and I got to ride on one of the old cars from 1902, I think it is. One of the old electric cars that Walt Disney used to ride around in. So that was great.
And I heard you've already made some key purchases. I love it. He is like us, where he's like in line in the store, shopping.
I did. I went into the store and I got a Snow White pin, and I got a mystery box, and then I got one of those wind up Oswald.
A true Disney fan, people.
I'm not sure what I can. Oh, don't you do that? Don't you shrug and let me answer.
He's in the show. He's shooting in Vancouver.
I would say, well, the premiere, we meet you in Seattle. And you are doing really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
The kind of stuff that is so interesting, people should watch it.
I think to continue to be frustratingly vague, we meet Colin in new circumstances in the premiere, but I think we can say that in the second episode,
Yes.
we really delve into what happened to him, and there's a flashback story centered around the book that really explains a lot, which we're not going to explain now, but I'm going to tell you it's coming.
We can tell you that episode 2 is a lot of fun.
Sorry.
And it will explain where he is, why he is, and exactly how he's feeling.
So, with Emma just in one episode, do we think Hook could potentially return to his villainous ways?
Well, I would say that, there's always the danger of Hook returning to his villainous ways, but I think his good heart prevents him from going all the way.
Yeah.
Woo! And Colin, for you, is it more fun to play romantic lead, heroic Hook, or villainous, killing people randomly Hook?
I mean, for me, well, look, I'm very lucky that I've gotten to play so many different variations of this character. That's another thing I think is fantastic about showing about the character. I particularly, one of my favorites was old fat hook.
Which hook is the best?
Wish hook, I think he was probably one of my
Pretty
favorites.
funny.
I've always liked playing the original leather-clad, swashbuckling villain-ish hook. I think it's fun to do that. Yeah, so I guess they all have a little special part for me, you know.
Hi guys, welcome. Today we are here shooting our musical episode.
Alright, here we go, take it up. Now rolling.
Are we doing a musical episode?
Yes!
I guess we are. A musical episode is something that the fans have always asked us about over the years.
Because obviously fairy tales lend themselves to that. It felt like it was sort of inevitable, but no one wanted to do it just to do a musical. You really want to be telling the story for a reason. You really want the music to be ingrained in it. You don't want it to just feel like an afterthought. And we all had talked about Emma and Hook's wedding, it being towards the end of the season, and it just seemed like what better reason to do a musical than to let them sing about their love instead of just talk about it.
Tomorrow is uncertain. Who knows what it will bring?
But one thing is for sure, love, with you I have everything.
We were super excited. I mean, I think Colin and I in particular were looking forward to it. After doing the show for so long, you get really excited to have something new and different.
It's also kind of magical for the wedding to be the musical episode,
Yeah.
and the way they've incorporated the music into the mythology of the show is really clever.
What was really nice, and I think what helped us, is knowing that the Disney brand is so associated already with these characters kind of breaking into song. So a lot of it was a little bit like coming home in terms of letting these characters who maybe wanted to sing for 6 seasons but hadn't been able to.
Ladies and
They're
gentlemen.
gonna have to sing the Snow Charming parts, are they not?
I don't know. All right.
Help them out.
My dear prince and princess, your offer is meaningless. Don't give a damn about your rank.